Of powerful speeches at the Democratic National Convention happening tonight,
including a president, a vice president, and a vice presidential nominee. Our powerhouse political team is live there tonight in Philly. Glenna Milberg and Michael Putney. Michael, let's begin with you.
Lori, Calvin, no matter what your politics are, I think you would have to admit we heard some outstanding speeches here tonight at the Democratic National Convention. President Obama just finished speaking a minute ago. It was stirring, it was moving. We will have more of what the president said in just a minute. But first, some of the earlier speeches, they were also very, very good. For example, very moving remarks by former Arizona Representative Gabby Giffords.
Hillary is tough. Hillary is courageous. She will fight to make our families safer. In the White House, she will stand up to the gun lobby. That's why I'm voting for Hillary. Speaking is difficult for me, but come January, I want to say these two words: Madam President.
Gabby Giffords made a remarkable recovery from nearly being shot to death a few years ago. Now, Vice President Joe Biden really lit up the Wells Fargo Center tonight. He was on fire, talking up Hillary Clinton, talking down Donald Trump.
How can there be pleasure in saying you're fired? He's trying to tell us he cares about the middle class. Give me a break. That's a bunch of malarkey.
That is vintage Joe Biden. He really was very, very good tonight. Now, the man who wants to be vice president on the Democratic ticket, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine, spoke tonight. Conversational, sprinkled some Spanish into his speech. Here's Tim Kaine.
You know who I don't trust? I wonder. Donald Trump.
It's going to be great, believe me. We're going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it, believe me.
Our nation, it is just too great to put it in the hands of a slick-talking, empty-promising, self-promoting, one-man wrecking crew.
The final speaker of the evening, of course, was President Barack Obama. This was kind of a valedictory of sorts. 12 years ago tonight, he spoke to a Democratic convention in Boston that launched his political career, got him to the White House. Tonight, he kind of summed up what he has achieved in the White House and gave a ringing endorsement of Hillary Clinton.
I stand before you again tonight, after almost 2 terms as your president, to tell you I am more optimistic about the future of America than ever before. A mother and a grandmother who would do anything to help our children thrive. A leader with real plans to break down barriers and blast through glass ceilings and widen the circle of opportunity to every single American, the next president of the United States, Hillary Clinton. And then there's Donald Trump. Don't boo, vote. Yeah, the Donald is not really a plans guy. He's not really a facts guy either. So this year, in this election, I'm asking you to join me to reject cynicism and reject fear and to summon what is best in us to elect Hillary Clinton as the next president of the United States and show the world we still believe in the promise of this great nation.
A very moving and stirring speech, I think, by President Obama. And at the end, the woman who he is endorsing, saying should be his successor, Hillary Rodham Clinton, coming out on stage, the two of them embracing. It was a moment that will be, I'm sure, front page news tomorrow morning in your morning newspaper, and it certainly was the big picture of the evening. President Obama also quoted the famous Teddy Roosevelt tribute to the man in the arena, the person who tries, sometimes fails, gets sweaty, gets dirty, but never gives up. He said that person is Hillary Rodham Clinton. He said she is the woman in the arena, ready to be president.